I know that they watching me, trying to figure me out. Like, what's my life like? Am I committed, devout? Perception is relying on what you trained your sight like. So what you see is whatever gets permitted by your eyes, right? I'm guessing that it's okay if they follow me, as long as they know that the praise is never no, not to me. No, not to be condescending. My philosophy is artistry presented should never become the god of me. Pros become the cons, artists kind of me. But to become content with this content leaves room for the kind of picture that in the concept. Why you sit at the feet of beneath this monolithic object, not painted in the image of God, but chiseled in the image of flaw. Sinner spitting redemption presented under a continual clause. Covenant of the brothers pulling out the rug from under you all. Standing on solid ground, mud can't hold a structure for long. Let me ask what you're building on, corruption or the word of y'all? Constructed a constellations with curse of universal wordsmith. In 6 days I stand in awe, on the seventh fallen worship. Captured by the Sabbath as I chill with the Nazarene, and unplugged for the madness, the calf is golden, hands open as they scream. It's right as we walk through this land, all we can feel is sand, so we can feel. Lord, will you take our hand, on you we stand. When the water pours out, we go. All of your people, we need a hero. We need a hero. We need a hero. Are you the rock we stand? American Hebrew. As I'm walking through this place, and the valley is the alley, and darkness covers my face. The folly followed by Hollywood, the hearts of the harlot, hardened by the law and their disgrace, longing to find compromise and replace the godly. They got more of the Sodom in me and my people riding beside them. I whisper asylum goodbye, but won't deny them asylum, praying for guidance as we march in the desert. No weapon drawn against us could prosper, even the pistol with the clicking and popping. If it hits me from a distance, cling to the promised land beneath my feet. I don't mind slipping inside and knowing I will arise with the gift of a body, everlasting vision of the king in the sky when I'm flying. Absolute conscious dividing the saints and the scholars, the fate of the faint-hearted despising the wake of the ship that we riding. All overboard and we sinking, I cling to the raft named Jesus. It's right as we walk through this land, all we can feel is sand, so we can feel. Lord, will you take our hand, on you we stand. When the water pours out, we go. All of your people, we need a hero. We need a hero. We need a hero. Are you the rock we stand? American Hebrew.
Hey, how are we all doing? Hope you're feeling energized by the music today. 3 coffees already today. Again, Robert, caffeine overload by Robert. Mind you, I've had 3 coffees as well. Let me just move this screen so I can actually say hello to you all properly. The moustache is still up straight. I tell you what, I had a very early start this morning. I am not complaining. I don't work down a coal mine. I do what I love. But 5 o'clock starts are not good for moustaches, coffee, sanity, and much else. But it's a good day. We have had an exciting day. So Lee's in the house. Welcome, Lee. Nice to have you on board. Let me just put this on. Lovely to have you live on YouTube with us. So Robert has had the 3 coffees. Lee's got the coffee already in hand. I've got tea. I know. What's coming over me? 3 cups of coffee. That's what's happening. Let me just have a swig of my tea. Oh, I can finally relax just a little bit. The moustache mug is out. Oh dear, what a day, what a day. Oh no, no sugar. Have I got time to go and get some sugar? Does anybody mind? We could have a little bit more music. I can't drink that without any sugar. I'm down to one sugar. Come on, tell me in the chat, people. Have I got time to go and just put some sugar in this cup of tea? I'm not going to be on form otherwise. Hold on 2 seconds. Can I be back in 2 seconds? I'll be really, really quick. Hold on 2 seconds. Hold on 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. I'll be back. Sugar, where's the sugar, baby? Let's get some sugar in my tea. Let's get some sugar in my tea. I got the sugar. I got the sugar. Right, I got sugar. Oh, grab yourself some sugar, honey. Right, I'm good. Thank you. Sugar. I can't drink without sugar. Oh, it's so difficult. I tell you what, I can eat pretty healthily. I can eat low-fat stuff, all that stuff that's good for you. I'm not so good with fruit, but smoothies are fine. But when it comes to sugar, it is the most evil thing to get rid of out of your life. I used to have 2 sugars. I'm down to 1. I really should can't going down. Super speed sugar. I know. I think I've got about half a teaspoon in there, but that would do. It will do. I should have just drunk it and not carried on. Anyway, how are you all doing? I hope you are good. Listen, if you were watching me on Periscope this morning at silly o'clock, let's give you a heads up actually, because you might be watching this and go, what the heck is he on about? What the heck is HMS Queen Elizabeth? I had to remind myself of the name because I had not a lot of sleep. HMS Queen Elizabeth is the new flagship for the Royal Navy, and it's been built up in Scotland, and it's been moved down today, and we've all been waiting with anticipation for it to arrive in a place called Portsmouth, which is right down on the south coast. Go Google it, you will find it. It goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, Portsmouth, for it's the Royal Navy's been based there, and it's just full of history, naval history. So they've been dredging the whole of Portsmouth. It's a very small harbour entrance to it. Yes, they did, Robert. We'll come to that in a minute. Remind me in a second, but they did. So what they do is that they've been dredging it. They've been dredging this, making the channel deeper, because up until this vessel arrived, it was just ferries and pleasure craft that was going in and out of there. So really narrow. So I've been keeping an eye on this, and I was so glad that I could get down there and do some photography on it, because it is going to be one of those historic moments. Now, like all events, I was hoping that I would be the only person there. But my head last night, when I heard about this, it was a bit late breaking news actually yesterday. Is that straight? That's straight. Late breaking news yesterday actually that it was going to be arriving, because they had a schedule of about a window of opportunity of this vessel arriving in the harbour for about a 3-day window. And then yesterday I suddenly had lots of messages come from people saying, it's happening, Scott, it's happening at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And it's like, okay, right, fine, yeah, all right, okay, it's 7 o'clock, that's going to be an early start. Okay, but we made it. And I'm travelling down there, and I got the car loaded, and I got everything. I picked up a coffee on the way, of course. 5 o'clock start. All geared up. And I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't it be nice if I was the only person there to witness this historical event? Fat chance. I think we had 20,000. I've had reports that there were 20,000 people down there. I think most of them were photographers for media organisations and media type people. I knew that I couldn't compete with what they were going to have be taking out. I'm going to sit up straight today because my back's playing out. Oh look. That's just changed. I look a lot whiter now. That's better. So the iMac agrees with me. I knew I couldn't compete with them. I knew that the Royal Navy were probably going to have their photographers out there. They were going to probably have a media organisation such as Press Association were going to be down there. You work hard for your money, Scott. Yeah, well, you know, I wasn't on an assignment for anybody. I literally knew that I had some available time to go down there. So I'm thinking to myself before I go down there, my pictures have got to be different. Now I knew I had a good hunch that they were going to have photographers probably on board the vessel it was coming in. They were probably going to have photographers in the sky, media people in the sky, up in helicopters. I knew that they're probably going to have some boats as well, whizzing around as it comes in, because all the media would have been catered for. So as a photographer, you think to yourself, oh dear me, is it even worth me going? Is it even worth me attending such an event? Am I going to get anything out of it? Okay, I don't know what's happening with this today. This side is more tired than this side. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I might actually scope this, periscope it, or I did consider YouTube live, okay? Flying photographers, yeah. So Lee's just said flying photographers. I think that could be a new band or something, couldn't it? There was the Flying Pickets years ago. I'm going to be very random today. I warn you now. I'm going to be easily distracted. Swig my tea. What was I talking about? Lost my train of thought because Lee's just said flying photographers, and now I've got photographers flying around in my head. Okay, so I'm heading down there, and I know that there's going to be well covered, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do out of this? Am I going to live stream it? I would love to have live streamed it live on YouTube or Facebook. I would have loved to do that. But please, YouTube, if you're listening, please, can you sort out the mobile phone app? Because I tell you why, okay? The competition, those guys over on Periscope, which I'm a big fan of because they did it first, okay? Mobile live streaming. Their app uses the stabilization on my iPhone 7. So when I'm taking photographs and I mount my iPhone on there and everyone can see what I'm doing and I'm talking to everybody, or I'm just walking down the street, it's lovely and smooth, okay? The slightest gust of wind, when you're not holding it like you're clamping onto the side of a mountain because you're fearing for your life that you're going to fall off your iPhone, it's like this. It's so much vibration on there. You really, please, come and talk to me. I have no idea what you need to do technically, but come and talk to me and I will tell you, please, that's what you need to do, big time. Because it's like this, it's bad. So anyway, I decided I was going to periscope it, okay? And I'm thinking, well, actually, because there's going to be so many good images coming out of this, I actually might concentrate more on the Periscope side of things and the live broadcasting, because I love doing that as well, and telling and sharing the story with my followers, because I know there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't have the opportunity to come all the way down to Portsmouth and see this, especially at that early o'clock in the morning. So that was the plan, okay? So I arrive at the situation. I arrive in Portsmouth. Parking, I knew it was going to be bad. The traffic was horrendous. It was like a sunny day on a Saturday morning when there was a big event on silly o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. What day are we? It was so much traffic down there. Anyway, I do the usual thing. I won't bore you with the details, but I finally found a parking space which was about 10 minutes walk away. I already had, this is all very relevant to photography. I'm going to bring it in there in a second. Or any kind of visual stuff, and you're planning an event. I'd already years ago covered the returning of a Royal Navy vessel down in Portsmouth, and I've scoped from there, and I know it fairly well down there. And you've got these lovely old, I think they're called the hot walls. I think, don't hold me to this, but I think they're called the hot walls because what they used to do is you can see all where the little, what's the word? Holes in the walls. I can't think of what the word is. Holes in the walls where I think the cannons used to go out of, yeah? And obviously they used to get a bit hot. I think that's why it's called the hot walls. But this runs along, it's almost like battlements of a castle that runs along there, and it's right on the edge, right by the harbour, and it's very famous for people standing there. It goes back hundreds of years of people welcoming and seeing off Navy vessels or adventurers in their boats, waving them all off and waving goodbye, okay? So I knew my image was going to be there. There's a particular place called the Round Tower, which is very famous for it. Now, there's limited space up there, and I thought, well, if I was really lucky, I might be able to get up there. So I already had my idea of my image. I've talked about this before. Sometimes you have an idea of an image. So I thought, well, I can either get that image there, or I could get it possibly around there. But the image was a wide-angle image that I wanted, okay? That was my priority because I put myself in a situation where I was going to try and create something different from everybody else. Sure, there was going to be photographers there doing that, but there was probably going to be less photographers doing that than the photographers that are up in helicopters and the flying photographers all the way around. You get my drift. I still think that would make an excellent album cover. I can see it now. So I head down and I get parked, I got all my gear, I put in the rucksack, and I'm charging down there, and I'm thinking, right, great, 4G, happy 4G all the way. So I'm going to live stream it, and I'm going to do some photography as well. I arrived there, I've got 2 cameras with me, okay? Ideal setup. I've got a wide angle on one, a wide angle zoom on one, because that's my priority picture that I wanted. I then got the long lens on the other one, 70 to 200 mil. I knew this vessel was going to be big. Let me give you some facts and figures about this amazing vessel. This amazing vessel was 65,000 ton carrier. It's amazingly large. It's the largest warship ever built. I've got to read this because brain's just gone today. 919 feet vessel. Yeah, long. So it's massive. So again, I'm not prioritizing those long shots of it, a speck on the horizon. Okay, because I want to show the size of it. I want to show people. So that if this is my photograph here, this is the frame. Okay, people here, these are the people. People work with me. People woohoo, like this, waving. I'm the vessel, going along. Wave, 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 and some flags in there. Okay, I think that's what I was after. So I get up there, and the 4G's brilliant. There's thousands of people there. I even managed to find the loo, which was brilliant. I tell you, after being in the car and drinking a cup of coffee, you sometimes need that. So priorities first. We sort that business out, and then I go up and start unpack my gear. And I had about 15 minutes before this vessel was coming in. I had a big tannoy system. It was a great event. For people that actually attended it, must have really enjoyed it, because they had commentators coming over on the tannoy system telling you about what was happening, giving you facts and figures about it. Don't know who these people were, but they were very knowledgeable. Very, very knowledgeable. It could have been from the Royal Navy. I don't know, but top people. So they were doing all that, and now the adrenaline kicks in, okay? Now I'm back from about 3, there's probably about 2 to 3 people wide, depth of people up to the wall. So I'm still thinking Periscope, I want to live stream this. If I can get some photographs, that would be nice for me, but in reality, they are not going to go anywhere, because I just don't think, they're going to be putting out stuff, probably faster than I can, because what they will probably do is they will have photographers situated around that will probably working with a person, a photo editor directly. So as he takes the photo or she takes the photographs, the photographer takes the images. They go straight onto that person photo editor's live feed, and they edit them straight out again. Now I haven't got that set up. In an ideal world I would have, but. So, okay, it's all going well. I've got my wide angle in there, and I think, right, I'm going to do a live stream before I start shooting any photographs. I do a live stream, and we had loads of people on. I'm not sure whether Robert was on. I recognise some names coming up there. I'm concentrating. I'm trying not to shout, because I do shout a little bit. And there's loads of people around me and all that kind of stuff. Got some nice live streaming of it. I go, okay, guys, listen, I'm going to stop for a second. I want to do some shots on my long lens, because I had it set up that I could mount it on my wide angle lens, okay, on camera with the wide angle. I said, I will be back. I was there, Robert was there, brilliant. I said, I will be back in 5. I promise you I will be back in 5, okay? I will be back. Full 4G, mega signal coming through. I was on my wake me up with the alert. I was on with wake me up with the, oh, okay. So Lee was there as well. That's good. And I stopped the stream. We had a good bunch of people on there. I could see the figures rising. It was good, and people were enjoying it, and they were saying it was really good. And then what happened was I took my photographs, long lens, boom, 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 over the tops of people's heads. I'm going to show you the images, by the way, in a minute. Boom, 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 taking the pictures, lovely. Camera back down. Get my position. I'm now looking for my shots. I'm looking for people with flags. I clocked the people with flags, and I'm thinking I can stand behind them slightly. Nice wide angle shot. Great big vessel. This amazing boat ship. I always get boat ships. Vessel coming in, and it's all going to work. Okay, it's all going to work. I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live now, and I went live. And the whole thing just went error. Everything. I guess because the network couldn't cope with my sparkling personality and the amazing images that I was creating on Periscope, the whole network just went down. Okay, even though I had a lovely 4G signal, full strength, I couldn't get on Twitter, I couldn't get on any kind of internet access at all. Okay, I'm kidding, by the way. I would imagine it was because everybody else was trying to send photographs or Instagram pictures or whatever they were doing. Okay, so it just went. And I thought, okay, I'll keep trying. And I just had to take my pictures. I thought, okay, somebody's telling me that I need to take pictures of this. And maybe prioritise the pictures, you just go with it. But I was disappointed, to say the least, because I had it ready and you would have seen the pictures as I've taken them, which is what I love to do when I'm out with a camera live streaming. Okay, I'd love to do that because you can hear the click of the Nikon, you can hear me waffling on about what I'm doing, what I'm looking for, and it's just worked so well before. It didn't happen. I'm really, really sorry it didn't happen. So this is the second best thing. You can now see the images if you haven't seen them on Twitter, and I will talk you through the process of how I created them and the kind of challenges that I came up against when I was doing this, okay? And we're hopefully going to go over and have a little look. Let's just move this around just a little bit. Shake it up. We got 5 people in today. That's good. I know 2 of you. The rest of them being quiet. Talk to me, goose. That's a quote from, what was it? Top Gun, by the way, if you're old enough to know that. Talk to me, goose. What's happening? What's happening? Right, okay, what is happening? I don't know. I'm going to press this and hopefully you're going to see some images. Boom, we are live. We are got some images up here and you can hopefully see them. Let me just move my this around here a little bit. Lee, I have an apology for you, by the way. I'm sorry I haven't responded to your DM message. I will get back to you. I promise it might be tomorrow now because I'm getting a bit tired. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. Okay. So here are the images that I've loaded up on here. Let's see if you have to forgive me. I was rushing today to get this done for you because I promised I would do a live stream every day, and that's what I'm trying to do for you. So here are my selective. Okay, lol. That's Lee. He says, okay, lol, that's fine. He's happy, man. Swig of tea is needed. Catch my breath as well. Oh, that's so good. That sugar has just made all the difference. You'll be pleased to know. And if you would like to know what blend of tea I am on, I'm quite traditional with my tea, and I'm on an English blend of tea today. Yeah, it's very nice. Breakfast tea. Did I say breakfast tea? Breakfast tea. Okay, so here are the images. Let's start scrolling through them. So I'm taking my images. Let me show you the long lens ones. You've seen them already if you've seen them on Twitter. If you haven't, this is going to be hopefully some, you're going to enjoy it, hopefully anyway. Let me just bring that down here and bring that down here so I don't cover up the chat, and we'll do that. Okay, so here's the long lens images I've done. I've shot these on a 70 to 200mm. The Union flag is on the bar building. Isn't it Ben Ainsley's? I thought you would. Lee's just asking a question there, by the way. I thought you were going to say it's not Ben Ainsley's company, and I'm so glad you're not saying that because I really checked to make sure it was his building. So yes, the Union Jack is. You're going to see that in a minute. Is the headquarters of Ben Ainsley? Is that how you pronounce it, Ben Ainsley? Wasn't there a chef as well with the surname Ainsley, or was it Ainsley something? Anyway, I think he did Caribbean food and stuff like that. If you're from another country, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about now, but he was a good chef and I liked his presenting style. A little finesse. He used to do this a lot. If he was cooking a piece of chicken, he used to go, I'm gonna salt it now. I'm gonna like that. He'd do that. Like that. Somebody, please go and look it up. Ainsley Harriott. You see, I knew Robert would know this. We will get back to talking about this picture in a minute. Ainsley Harriott. He used to do a lot of this. I think he's still going, I'm sure. So he'd get the chicken. He'd do this. He'd be live TV cooking. Ainsley Harriott was the chef, exactly. So he'd do all this kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, man. I'm going to be cooking this lovely bit of chicken or something like that. I'm going to just put some salt on there. Hold on a minute. And he'd do this. Like that. And then he'd do it again. Like that. Brilliant. I love it. Lovely. Got to have a bit of flair in this life, otherwise it becomes a very boring life. Right, okay, back to the images. 70 to 200. Sorry, am I being a bit loud today? Let's just knock me down a little bit. I'm very excited. It's been one of those days today. Just knock that down. I'm hitting the red marker. I don't know what happens then. I don't know whether your speakers blow, so I apologise if I have. I'm still learning. still learning. Okay. I've already told you what lens I'm shooting this on, so I'm doing it. I've got it. Okay, Andy's in the house. Hang on, let me just answer Andy, because he's a photographer. I think this would be a good question. I always have full faith in Andy to bring the conversation back to a respectable level. I'm going to just look at this for 1 second. Without an assignment, how will you sell these? Or was it for experience, from which we benefit? Thank you. Yes. Absolutely. Experience is always good, but no. When I say I wasn't on an assignment, it's an assignment I created. So it's a freelance assignment that I've created for myself. Certainly, I know Andy is out in the States, so a lot of the time when you're doing freelance work now over here, gone are the days you used to get a call from an editorial a newspaper or a magazine, and they would put you on assignment for news events. It happens very, very infrequently now, okay? Very infrequently. Because if you think about it, newspapers don't have a lot of money anymore, because we're all doing stuff on the internet. And that's not a criticism, that's just the fact. Excuse me. I always seem to get indigestion when I'm live on YouTube. I don't get indigestion when I'm on Periscope, but I get indigestion. It must be the time of day. I'll work on that. So this was purely, I wanted to go and cover it and do some photographs of it myself. So the way I will hopefully earn some money out of it is that I have syndicated these photographs through a press agency that I syndicate my work for. So they will then put them out to the national press and the media organisations. The Alamy is the name of them. They're an international, worldwide photo agency. And they would do all the hard work of trying to sell those images for me, okay? But I deprioritized it. I wanted to go and do something. I wanted to go and photograph it. And sometimes, as long as I can, even if I don't make any money out of an assignment, if I enjoy doing it and I can share it with other people on live streaming, which is good, create some images for my blog, which is good, so I've got a story to tell, and this was an historic event, so there was no way anybody was really going to commission a photographer for it, because you might as well sit there in a media organisation and wait for the images to come through, and then you go, okay, I can pick that person's image, which is an amazing image, and all those other guys I don't have to worry about. So that's how it works. Andy, how are you doing? I'm very good, thank you. Excellent, good. So that is how it works. So yeah, this image, long lens, through the crowd. I like the crowd, okay? I like the crowd in the shot. I don't know, you know, in an ideal world, this would have been a flag. I don't know why I'm pointing. I do a lot of this, don't I, when I'm on here? I think I would have preferred a flag in the shot, but time was of the essence, okay? Like the picture you put on the agency, thank you. Cheers, buddy. Time is of the essence now. Boom, boom, boom. You know, don't even think about it too much. Got one image done. I got my clean image of it, okay? There's probably thousands of these images of this vessel like this. Different angles, different happening. It's not a priority image. It's almost a stock image of a news event, okay? It come in handy. I was pleased with it. It's sharp. It's bright. The colours are okay. You know, it all kind of works, and it says what it is on the tin. You know, it's a nice portrait of a great big aircraft carrier. You know, it's fine. I'm pleased though. I'm pleased. It's all good. She's a big girl. Oh yeah, they're giving it a nickname, Big Lizzie, which I kind of like. Big Lizzie. Yeah, careful how you say that. Big Lizzie. So now I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to live stream. Can't live stream, so what the heck? No live streaming. Let's do my wide angle picture. So now I'm working on my wide angle picture. These are the fully edited photographs that I've got. Okay, this I think is my best live. This is my best wide angle image that I've got on the day. I think Robert commented, it was somebody, forgive me if it wasn't Robert, but I think Robert put a comment when I tweeted these out this morning that he loved the fact that you could see the images on their iPhones and their Android phones. Lee's just said someone would like that, maybe a paint from, yes, yeah, maybe a paint company might like that. They might use it for their branding or something. Full of one-liners, me. So let's show you this image. So now you don't see the cursor on this, is you so? Loved all in that image. Thank you. So yeah, I like the fact that I had to crop this image slightly, okay, because I couldn't get past the. I hope she won't mind me saying if she ever watches this. The elderly lady, and there was a gentleman to the left. Thank you, Andy. So Andy out in the States says, showing the troops standing around the rim makes that a good shot and the crowd helps tell the story. Exactly. That's it. That's exactly what I want. To me, it's to capture the atmosphere of the image. So I had the elderly, apologies if she's watching this, the elderly lady just to my right and the elderly gentleman to my left slightly. You can just see the tops of their heads and the sprouting hair. See, I have sprouting hair. It kind of just does that thing. I need to get it trimmed. So he's got some sprouting hair on the left there, but it still held it in. I just cropped it in. Thank you for the lovely comments, by the way. Just cropped it in there to try just isolate them a little bit, darken them down a bit, and I think it works. I think it's a really nice image. The flag's perfect. It's just great. I didn't actually get that many frames off on this. I probably got 6 or 7 frames, and I think this is the best. So Lee's just said here, I've actually started deliberately including phone stroke crowds in my videos. Gives it a human touch. Yeah, it does. If you look at a lot of the press photographers, it's an old trick that press photographers, TV cameramen used to film photographers when we were less of a, there was less of us, if that makes sense. They used to film us taking pictures. So a lot. Hi Carol, how you doing? Nice of you to join us. No problem. It's really good to have you on board. So you're seeing lots of news broadcasts. You will see a lot of a standard shot will be a lot of photographers or even other cameramen filming them. So it's a technique that it's been done a lot, but it does work. Certainly crowds, it's good because it sets the scene of it. Okay, really pleased with that image. Happy with that image. The other one, I think I got a little flustered. Because I did choose this one as well. And I don't know why I chose this one, because then again, looking at it now, I quite like it. I think this is the better image. I think the reason why I initially got, bearing in mind now, I'm now sorry, when I'm editing these photographs, I'm in a car in the street. Okay, I've got my MacBook Pro out. I've got some amazing music on the radio or on the car stereo to energize me to be creative with my images, and I'm processing them, bearing in mind any editorial photographers will know all about this. You need to get these images out nice and quick. I was already delayed a little bit, so I kind of like, I think I'm probably too late to the party. But sometimes, you just carry on. So this is the image that initially I sent out first of all. I think it's a cleaner image. I still like it. You have got the whole image of the boat, the vessel in there. It's good, but the first is better, yeah. And when I kind of went back, so I sent this one out first, edited this picture, kind of works for me, got that one over straight away, and then I went back and did a second edit. And I did this, and I sent this one, and then I did my final sweep, which you're going to move on to now, and I did my final sweep of images. So this is the first image I sent out, that one. And you're right, the other one is better, but this was okay. That was the second image, boom, out, done. So first 2 images. And then I go back, and then I'm editing these in the car. It's getting rather hot. I needed the loo again, actually. Too much information, Scott. Sorry, I told you it'd be a random one, this one. I like the movement in the flag. Yeah, the movement in the flag's lovely, isn't it? It really kind of adds something to it. I think his hand is in the wrong place. He's covering up the, what do you call that bit in the middle? The bit that goes up like this. You know what I mean. The bit in the middle where the captain sits and the wheelhouse, it's not really the wheelhouse, but you know what I mean. So I think that's probably why that image isn't as strong. His hand should be over further to the right, above the iPhone going up. But I have no control about it. I didn't ask him to wave the flag. He just does it. Cracking picture, I appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Okay, so I've got those 2 images now. I can relax just a little bit. start thinking about where the nearest loo is. But no, I cannot use the toilet. I need to carry on, need to crack on and get these images done. So I now, the middle bit, yes, the middle bit. The bridge, this, thank you. That's the one, the bridge bit in the middle bit. Which is surprisingly small considering the size of the aircraft carrier. Do you not think? I think it's got 17 decks, this thing. Decks, I said decks. 17 decks. Yeah. Okay, so right, let's move along. So now I do a third sweep of my pictures and thinking, okay, might as well now put across this image here. All right, I do these final ones in the batch. We've seen that already. I'll put that image through on there as well. Back to when I'm taking the images, key thing to do is sometimes if you know that you can't compete with what the other photographers that have got better access to you have got, yeah, I hope that came across as proper English. Look for the quirky pictures. Look for the human interest pictures. So what as I was walking down now, the boat. Rewind. The boat went really quick into the harbour. I was absolutely amazed how quickly it moved in, considering it was the captain's first time of bringing this vessel into this harbour, and there was like not a lot of room for error. He was really quick, which I wish he'd slowed it down a little bit. So that caught everybody by surprise a little bit. Thank you, mate. So the vessel's now gone through, and now I'm trying to reposition myself along with about 10,000 other people. The other 10,000 decided to go and get coffee or go to work or whatever. So we're all moving down now. It's a big event all the way through the old part of Portsmouth, working down. And I'm walking my way down, and there's this vantage point called that's got, I think it's called the Spice. There's an inn there. There's a pub there. I think it's called the Spice something or other. Okay. And there's a big viewing area that looks out across Gunwharf Quays, which is a shopping area, and Spinnaker Tower. And that was crammed full of people. I thought, right, okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to go down this corner here and see if I can get another way in. I don't know. I just went with a hunch. I just thought, let's just explore. Something led me that way. I just go with it sometimes. Don't question yourself too much. Sometimes go with it and it pays off. So I went round, and now I'm talking about the images that you can get which are around a subject, around a big event, which sometimes you'll be surprised will get used, all right? It's not an award-winning photograph in any way. Is this an award-winning photograph? Okay, it is just an image, but it's quite a newsy image because they've got this lovely banner, and I saw them up there, and I said, "Come on, give us a wave." Okay, oh yeah, give us a wave, and it's a nice news image. Okay, so all it is, you know, it's kind of says it up, but this was behind where it was happening. So this is why it's so important when you're out with a camera or looking for images, you look around the subject. Everybody had their back to this, right? Having said that, you might see this on the front page of a newspaper tomorrow and everybody got a picture of it. I don't know, all right? It might have been on the TV, but certainly the majority of people had their back to it. So I spotted it, boom, 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 long lens, brilliant. I'm walking down, I'm shuffling down the road as quickly as I can, thinking, I could have had some breakfast earlier on, that really could have done. So this is the building that Lee mentioned, which is not Ainsley Harriot's building, HQ, the chef. Remember the chef with the chicken? Not his building, nothing to do with cooking at all. Ben Ainsley's building, who I believe is a superstar in the yachting racing world, okay? And he's got this amazing building that they've built down there. And again, I'm seeing that, okay? In an ideal world, all these people will be really cheering at this point for this picture, but it was too good an opportunity. And I know another photographer did actually get this image from further away because I saw somebody pop it out on social media. It's Great Big Union Jack again. I haven't got time. I'm trying to catch up with this blinking boat that's going so fast down into the harbour in Portsmouth. You know, I think the captain wanted to get on land and go for a fry-up, you know. Now, if you're not used to what the expression of fry-up is a good hearty breakfast of sausage, eggs, baked beans, fried potatoes. It's a good traditional English breakfast that you live by. I can't afford, they don't agree with me, but they're great. I used to love eating them, but now my waistline doesn't agree with me. But they are really good. Anyway, back to the story. This is a long story. I apologise if you're bored. Got this image, couple of frames. That's it, I haven't got time to hang around. I then turn the corner and there's these big, beefy security guards. Let me just go back to me for a second. Here I am. Hello. Big, beefy security guards and some fencing. And there's this the immensely empty car park. He's an Olympic sailor. Thank you. I see, this is why I do this, so you can assist me. An amazing car park that's totally empty. And I'm thinking this is a bit surreal. I think there's no chance that the security guard is going to let me. And I could see the HMS, what is it called? Queen Elizabeth. Big Lizzie. Let's just call it Big Lizzie. I could see Big Lizzie, the rear of Big Lizzie. Now, there's an expression you don't often use, and you certainly probably don't hear that on YouTube very often unless you're watching the wrong type of live streams. But I could see the rear of Big Lizzie disappearing down here, and I'm thinking it's going past a ferry. That might make a nice picture, you know, little and large, Big Lizzie and little ferry. So I'm thinking, I wonder if this security guard will let me through here. I don't think he's going to let me through here. There was more than one, and they were quite big, and they look quite stern, actually. So I'm the only one coming towards them now, and I'm thinking this is probably going to backfire on me because it's all happening down the way where everyone stood. I said, there's no chance at all you're going to let me in here, is there? He said, yeah, come on in. Yeah, no problem. I said, really? Yeah, come on in. So now I'm in this empty car park with nobody else but this security guard, who was actually not as stern as he looked, and he's a really nice chap. Didn't know his name. I'll call him Fred. So I'm now in the car park with Fred, the security guard, and his mate Bill. So Fred and Bill are now realising that now they've let me through, there's an awful lot of other people that have come off from the hot wall thing place down the end. 10,000 of them following me. And now entering this area. But I'm at the front, it's fine. I'm still trying to scope live. So I now managed to get Big Lizzie's rear in the shot. So Big Lizzie now is just off there, okay? And it's not got as much as zingy zangy as the other image that I've taken with the crowd and the people in it, but it's worth taking. You can just see, look, you can just see the helicopters just whizzing around there as well. Nice, clean, crisp image, long lens, brilliant. I like the scale. I'm thinking, well, actually, it shows the scale of the boat off pretty well. I'm sure maybe one of the newspapers will probably do something about the size of this. So I did a couple of shots on there, still trying to live stream, still no good with that, couldn't get a thing out of it. Another one, slightly tighter shot. Again, you know, it's not ideal. I prefer to see the front of it, but I can't be in two places at once. I had to make that call to go with a different image, and I'm pleased I did. Crowds worked for me. And the last one, you'll be pleased to know, is that one, which is the classic kind of shot. I kind of like this image in a kind of empty kind of way. You might as well put it through. It's one of those images that, you know, you just put it through and you never... If the wind is blowing in the right direction... What's this? Hang on, breaking news. Just hold on 2 seconds and I'll tell you about this one. Lee has just said, sorry, I'm back now. Just had an image on the local BBC News. Well done, Lee. That's excellent news. Brilliant. Excellent news. No pun intended. Well done, buddy. I want to see some tweets about that. Do a screen grab. Send it out. I want to find out all about this wonderful image. Well done. That's the way forward, buddy. Excellent. Good on you. No, that's really, really good. I think you're going to have more chance of getting your pictures seen than I am. I tell you that now. Anyway, back to this image. So the chap now has got this amazingly large iPad or something, and he's taking photographs. And I'm thinking it's quite a nice image, long lens. Yeah, show us the pic. Yeah, we want to see it. So it's worth a shot. I kind of like the old boat next to it. You've got the new one there. You've got the little bit of a ferry there. And if, as I was saying, if the wind is blowing in the right direction, somebody might use this because there's an awful lot of copy space around it, and it's just one of those pictures that you just put out there and you never know, it could get used. So that was it. That was pretty much my day. So let's just zing this back. How do I get that back? Brain's gone totally like mush today. Why is it not throwing me? Oh, we'll just put this back here. We'll go back to there because that's my favourite image. More tea is needed. So now I managed to do a stream. So I did do another live stream. The signals all came back up again. I nearly took my MacBook with me to send the photographs when I was there at the side of the road. Okay, I'm not a big fan of doing it. I'm glad I didn't because there was no Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi anywhere near the area that I could find, and there was certainly no phone signal on my mobile phone. So I'm glad I didn't make that call because it's just more weight to carry. I have set up that I can actually download images onto my iPhone, edit them on my iPhone from my DSLR, and send them from my DSLR, which is a really quick way of getting them out. Now with the iPhone 7, it's the bigger screen. Try doing it on an iPhone 5. I've got an iPhone 5 somewhere here, and it's nearly impossible. It does. Do you use your phone to send? Yeah, so I have done it in the past, and it does work. In fact, when I was out in Spain, and I was covering the FIAS, I will share that with you, buddy. Maybe I'll do a live stream about it, and I can share it about it. When I was out in Spain and I was covering the burning of these amazing, I think I've shown you pictures, these amazing models, structures that they build for this fiesta out there that I went and photographed. They don't start burning them until like midnight, and I was out and about, and what I was doing was as I took the images when I had a little bit of spare time, I'd load them onto my phone from my DSLR, edit them through and send them that way. It just saves you carrying a load of kit around. In fact, I've thought about carrying a tablet around with me and doing it. The tech is there. Within this industry, and probably I know we've got a couple of pro photographers on here, but just to let an amateur photographers know, or anybody that's just interested in the industry, it's quite a lonely, in a way, lonely career being a photographer. And I don't all go, oh, I'm feeling sorry for you, Scott. You got no friends. The reason why I say it's slightly lonely is not because I need new friends. I probably do. No, I don't. I've got good friends. I haven't got that many, though. Anyway, it's not that I need new friends. When I mean it's lonely, very rarely do you meet other photographers. And when you do meet other photographers, you're competing against them. So very rarely do editorial working photographers share much information about anything. So you kind of get into if you're not careful, you get into a little rut of doing it your way, and you find little techniques of doing it. But actually going out and talking to other photographers and say, oh, did you know about this amazing new bit of kit that's been devised that I'm using? And it sends my pictures in seconds. Okay, they aren't going to tell you that because they want their pictures to go in seconds while it takes you half an hour to get yours out. Okay, so it's a very closed shop, to say the least. Yeah, it's not good. I tell you a story. Do you want to hear a story from when I was one of the? It's a little bit of a gripe actually, but I'll tell you this story. Let's go back over here for a second. So when I was working I was working for a staff on an editor it wasn't a weekly news. I was working for a photo agency, working as a staff. This was probably, when was this? Early 2000s. It was before I went freelance, so it must have been about 2001. And I'm working as a staff photographer. I was a senior photographer for a news agency. When you join a news agency that is, I don't even know whether they even exist now, really, but you used to have independent news agencies. So not where you go and buy a newspaper from, and your magazine, and your Hello magazine, or whatever it may be. News agencies, all they do is they have a set of journalists, and they have normally photographers or freelance photographers that work for them, and they cover news, yeah, and they try and sell it to newspapers, or they get commissions, okay? So I was the senior photographer, or one of the senior photographers for them. And I got very fed up with, and I've always been very fed up with the way that some photographers treat the industry. And this is one of the criticisms of how the industry has suffered, because it's always been a closed shop, okay? And they think that keeping it a closed shop will benefit them. Well, as you can see, the world has not stopped, and it's changed the whole industry without they're left behind almost. Okay, not all photographers, but some of them work like this. Some of them will actually be so what's the word? Not obsessed, but they are so close to people, a small group of them. They become groups, this closed industry, that the fact that when they're on a job, a photo assignment, a news job, and if they will actually share images with one another, which if the picture desks ever knew this, and I never did it, but if the picture desks or their bosses ever knew this, there'd be a lot of problems with it. So it's all this very close. And if you're a new person coming into that world or that area, so you might be a very experienced photographer, but you come to a new area and there's a different set of photographers. They give you the hard, they come in and they've got a lot of bravado. And, this is where the old Fleet Street elbow comes in, okay? The Fleet Street elbow is you get this when you're taking your photographs. So it's it's old boys club. It's just a load of old rubbish. And this is why a lot of the time I've refused to ever be part of it. And I'll walk around the corner and go and do my own thing and just let them go and do their stuff. But the point of why I'm telling you is they get so paranoid, or they used to. I think things have changed considerably. But they used to get so paranoid about it that they would stand together in a group and not dare to move anywhere. Okay, so these are people that are meant to be demonstrating or documenting a news event, but they're so worried about not getting the same image as the bloke next to them that they just, okay, we'll all move over here, shall we? So they all go and move over there together. And, okay, we'll all move over there. So you can imagine, because I didn't really take part in that, I've never done so, I stood out like a sore thumb. Because when they all stood in a group and said, okay, we're all going to stand here and do our photograph when this happens, and I politely said, actually, I'll go and stand over here. So here's me and there's a big group of photographers. A little bit of, you can see what I'm saying, yeah? So I didn't always get on well with them. But to me, it was my call. And if I'm there, I want to document something through my eyes, not what 30 other photographers are doing. There we go. That's what's made me who I am now. A maverick. Someone once called me a maverick. And then somebody once said, how do you always get photographs different from everybody else? Well, there's the secret. And they also said, how do you always get photographs from news events? And I said, because breaking news events. So when I was a staff photographer on an evening newspaper, I always had a camera on me, and who's goose? Always had a camera on me, and probably overworked too much, but I just covered everything. I remember I did a rescue. A helicopter came in and I was driving past it, and I'm ringing up the news desk and saying, do you know about what's going on down here? There's like a helicopter in the sky, and there's ambulances, and there's police everywhere, and there's it's all going on. You must have some information about this. No, we have no idea what's going on, Scott. And I said, well, I'm here now, and there's a big event. There's some kind of problem going on here, and there's a helicopter just about to land. I can't hang around. I'll go and do some photographs. And I think I got a front page out of it, and I got a spread of photographs out of it. And I always remember, because as the helicopter was coming down, I thought, it would make an amazing photograph if I go in and do this on the wide angle. Now, the reason why I thought this was such a good idea at the time was it kind of harked back to the photographs that were probably taken in, you know, Robert Capa's time, or and I told you I like wide angles. And you know, Vietnam and that kind of thing, where you've got this helicopter coming down, yeah, a nice black and white photograph, and the wind from the rotor blades, you know, it's not quite touching the ground, and you've got people carrying people into the thing. And I was thinking this would be great. So I'm all ready. I've got the wide angle lens there, and the helicopter's coming down, and I could feel the slight breeze that was coming off the blades from the helicopter. Thinking, do I have to duck? Because in films they always duck, don't they? When the helicopter's landed, they come out the helicopter. Or will it actually cut my head off? I'm not sure. Anyway, not to worry. I'll stick thinking about doing my photograph and helicopter. And the pilot actually said to me, "Stop. Do not come any." He waved at me in a really nice way. It was kind of a polite way. Well, it wasn't at all in a polite way, but it was kind of like, "Don't come any further, please, sir. Go, just step back a little bit." It would have made an amazing photograph, amazing. So I think I did it on about a 60 or 70 mil or some such thing like that, and it still got in the paper, and everybody was happy, and it was a good story. Anyway, I digest. Anyway. Yes, you do love front pages, buddy, because you've had a couple of them lately. Anyway, that is my story of photographing an amazing historical event. I hope you found it entertaining with me waffling on about numerous different things and drinking cups of tea. It's all very well you laughing, mate. It'd be nice if I wake up tomorrow and see my picture on the front page. That'd be very good. I could eat this week. Yeah, I'm pleased. I'm pleased with my picture. It's good. I tell you, these pictures, they won't. This is probably the only place you're going to see them was on my Twitter account, because it would have been a diary job. And this is the reason why I'm going back to this, okay? This was a diary job, all right? So they would actually send somebody down from London. They would have sent a team of photographers, set this up. They've been waiting for this. They would have had total access. They would have probably, I'm sure the Press Association boys, I know there was a Reuters photographer, so that's another agency, if you don't know. Reuters had a photographer down there. He was actually below me when I took this photograph, because I saw the picture they put out. And I nearly went down on the beach, and he got quite a nice picture of somebody holding up a big, big flag. No movement in it, though. He did another one of somebody waving. It's good, great. It works for Reuters, you know, or stringer for Reuters, freelance for Reuters. He got a good image. But PA, I know they had, I would imagine they probably had a photographer probably around about where I was. They probably had another one down at the Spinnaker Tower area. Bearing in mind, it seems to be quite a slow news day. And the last few weeks has been quite slow with stuff that's going on from the England anyway, that isn't celebrity orientated. Don't even get me started on that kind of rubbish. And I think they had somebody up in the Helicopter Press Association, so they obviously got links with the Royal Navy. I've said it before, and I remember seeing a nice photograph of actually taken out of the side of a helicopter as it's come off the vessel, off of here. Let me just go back. So actually taken off when it was further out at sea, and it was looking through the doorway of the open doorway of the helicopter, with one of the crew hanging out, and you could see down onto the deck. So that was really nice. And there were other bits and bobs coming on there, and there's certainly plenty of aircraft hanging around and boats and stuff like that. So you never know, though. You never know. Somebody somewhere might use my image. But it's good, and it's great to be documenting it. You know, this is the thing. It's not about money. It is about money because you need to eat and you pay the bills. But sometimes you just do it for the love of it. And I love doing editorial work. I love doing news. I've news ink. The ink of a newspaper is in my blood. I've told you this story before. My father was a photographer. Yeah, it'd be good. I got a nice one for the wall, you know. I could put it up here, you know. That's what we're going to do. Shall I get it printed, right? If this image, let's just go back. All right. If this image does not appear in a newspaper, which I honestly, I will eat my No, I'm not going to eat my hat. I like my hat, but I really do not think... It's getting dark, isn't it? I really don't think this image is going to get used, okay? So maybe I should just get the image blown up really big and put it behind me, all right, on my funky wall, and and every time I live stream, we go, I remember the day I took that image there. You haven't lived until you've been stood on the hot walls of Portsmouth with thousands of people with a wide-angle lens, with 4G that's non-existent. You're trying to live stream. I remember when I took this image here. Put it on the canvas. I think so. We like the trees. You see, Lee's. I can't win. Hey, listen, it's been absolute blast today. I've really enjoyed it. It's been good. I apologise if this thing has been going far too loud on your speakers. Drop it down a little bit. One day I will get to work this software down to a T, and I'll probably have better lighting in here one day as well. No, we like the trees. Lol. Hey, Patrick, how you doing? Nice to see you. I didn't see you sneak in there. I am off now. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's gone. You're going to have to watch the replay, buddy. It's 7 o'clock now, and I'm hungry, boy. Just to let you all know, because I often update people about what I'm eating, this evening's dinner is going to be a vegetarian burger with a slice of cheese on there, okay? Slice of cheese, because you shouldn't eat too much meat, okay? Vegetarian burger in a gluten-free. I'm trying to go gluten and wheat-free, so I'm going gluten-free roll today. Goodness knows what it's made out of if there's no wheat and there's no gluten in there. I have no idea, okay? But gluten-free roll with a little bit of salad on there, cheese. Okay, hold on, this is not complete now. I'm then going to have sweet potato fries, onion rings, and then a nice little side salad to go with that. How about that for healthy, huh? That's not bad, is it? Hey, not bad. Bolognese for you, Lee. Enjoy your bolognese. Thank you very much for joining me and listening to me rambling on. I hope you have a good rest of the evening, and hopefully we will be back tomorrow. Now, yes, tomorrow, before I go, very, very quickly, stop waffling on, Scott. Yes, I promise tomorrow I'm going to do a little review of your photographs you sent me. So all being well, I've got a website day tomorrow. I've got to do some work on the website. So I'm going to be even making less, I'm going to make less sense than I made today because I'm going to have about 8 or 9 hours in front of the computer screen. But tomorrow, I promise, with your help, I'm going to look at the photographs that you sent for us, okay? I'm going to be back. Oh, yes, we're going to be doing it. Okay, see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, and I hope there's something good on the telly because I want to watch a good film this evening. Okay, yo, 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 yo. Thank you later. Bye, bye, bye from me. See you later.